have the most NBA titles of every franchise. Kudos to them. Today we celebrate sports, but not only do we celebrate it, we have to examine it. Because Jason Tatum, though he led his team in points, rebounds, and assists, he didn't win Finals MVP. Jaylen Brown did. Now, this will likely be the most scrutinized thing. Shout out to the Celtics, but I cannot overlook this. Before I ask Shady McCoy this question, I want to show y'all something that may indeed blow your mind. Look at this graphic of where Jason Tatum falls as it pertains to being the leader on his team of points, boards, and assists. LeBron, Duncan, Magic, all of those players, and mind you, these are Hall of Fame talents, top 5, top 8 players ever. They all won Finals MVP. But Jason Tatum, on this elite and illustrious list, he didn't. Giving y'all a second to soak in what you're witnessing. Soak in this graphic. Okay, now take it away and let me talk to 2-5 real quick. Shady, Jason Tatum, he led in all of these things, but he didn't even win Finals MVP. He didn't even win that.
Yeah.
But did he silence his critics?
Yes. Is he a champion?
Yes.
Did he wake up today as a champion?
He did.
Last night, did he spray some champagne? Right? Champagne shower. Yeah, he's a champion. Yes, he silent critics because one thing you can't take away from these players, especially Tatum, is that he's a champion. Right? You may say, oh, he didn't get this. He didn't do that. He didn't score a certain amount of points. He didn't do this. The game was online. He didn't do. It don't matter. None of that matters. Only that matters is that he's a champion. Now, can he go out there and get you a Finals MVP eventually? Yeah. The last 7 years, 5 of them years, they've been to the
Eastern Conference Finals.
Hello?
Yeah, I believe so.
So that lets you know they can get there again, right? And I think that this team they have, they're going to be good for a long time, right? I think Horford, depending on his age, what he wants to do, but if you got to find a way to replace him eventually. But other than that, that team is solid. They locked in. They love playing with each other. Him and Jaylen Brown is going to play a lot of good basketball for a lot of years because they don't have that issue of whose team is it? Is it mine? Is it yours? Who shoots the last shot? They don't have that. Well, other All-Stars, you can kind of see it, right? Kobe and Shaq, even though Shaq was the most dominant, Kobe, hey, man, I want to shoot this rock.
Yes, sir.
And it was a thing where you can see it. Steph Curry and Kevin Durant, why they were so special, why they did so well is because both of these brothers understood, hey, look, for us to win, I need you and you need me. You do your thing, I do my thing. Now, whoever wins the Finals MVP is what it is, but overall, they win games because they appreciate each other and they trusted each other. They're doing the same thing. So if you ask me, has he silenced the critics? Absolutely. You cannot take away he's an NBA champion.
Now, this is interesting coming from that man. Because Shady fervently believes, and I'm not telling on him, he said this publicly and he said it privately, that Jaylen Brown is the better of the two players. We'll get to that later, I promise you this. But when it comes to criticism, Rick Bucher, Jason Tatum's hurt a lot. Haven't been able to win, no killer instinct, no dog. He's not the leader on us, all of it, family. But he's a champion.
Right.
He's a champion.
Right.
Did he silence his critics?
No.
Whoa.
No, because we weren't questioning, certainly we questioned whether he was a champion or not, but we questioned a lot of other things in terms of, was he maximizing his talent? Did he have the dog in him? Could he be the go-to player? Was he truly the best player on the Boston Celtics as he has been advertised to be over all these years? Well, he wasn't the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. He wasn't the Finals MVP.
Yeah.
So, and I'm just going based on when Jaylen Brown was named the Finals MVP, I tweeted out there, or X'd out there, however you want to put it, is anybody else stunned that Jason Tatum didn't win Finals MVP? Because the numbers would say that he did. And the response that I got from many of Jason's critics was, no, because he wasn't the closer. He didn't hit the big shot. So he answered a lot of things, and he made a fan out of me. But then I've always appreciated what he is and what he isn't. I've never expected him to be that go-to guy. That's where Shady and I get into it, because I think Jaylen Brown is that closer. I think he does have that, give me the ball and get out of the way and I'll go get it. I've never thought Jason Tatum had that. But do I think that Jason Tatum was instrumental, maybe the biggest instrument in them winning a championship? I would make a case that he was.
Here's what's fascinating, because I think that Jason Tatum is almost LeBron James' delight. Like snack size, if you will. The LeBron James light, not delight. Snack size. And since we all know LeBron James passed for it first, most notably, remember that time LeBron James kicked it, I think it was to KCP during the bubble years, and Dame Lillard said he made the right play, but I still would have shot over both of them.
Yeah.
That, to me, was the most polarizing moment of everybody realizing LeBron's a pass-first player. But even in LeBron James being a deferential player, he was still going to win Finals MVP 4 times and all his chips. Kyrie had the biggest shot. Congratulations, Kai. But LeBron had the block along with everything else. He was still going to win Finals MVP. So, James Jones, I'm a little have tension here because I respect Tatum as a deferential player.
Yeah.
I love his game. But to me, it says something he didn't win MVP that he silenced his critics.
It does, and he didn't silence the critics. And my main reason he didn't silence the critics is, who does? While you are playing NFL, NBA, until you retire, you're going to have them critics. They will celebrate you when you retire. Jason Tatum is still playing, so he's going to have them critics. And the critics is going to be exactly what you just said, Acho. My man is a champion now. Coming into this next season, if they make it to the playoffs and they are making a run, the critics are going to be saying, what if he don't win it again this year? Is he that type of player? The critics are going to be there all the time until he retires and walks into the Hall of Fame. That's when they'll say, hey, man, he was a really good basketball player, right? This is the stuff he did right. He's a champion. So the critics will never go nowhere. LeBron James has been to the finals, what did he go, 10 times in a row? And there's still people out there, only 4? Only this? Oh, so you always are going to have those critics, you know what I mean? So the best thing about it now is he can sit there and look at you in your eye and say whatever you want, Shady. I'm a champion, homeboy. That's it.
And that's what
you
I'm
know
riding
what I'm
with.
saying?
That's why I say, forget the critics. He's a champion now.
Yeah.
But one thing I want to talk about is, like, the voters, right? I know you're a voter. And this is why, like, they finally got it right. Because you can look at the stats and make an argument for it, right? But if you really watch the series, you cannot tell me that JB was not the best player on the floor on both sides. On both sides, right? The impact that he brought to the game, I think, is more impactful than what Tatum did. Right, because you can talk about the rebounds and all that type of stuff and all that, but when I watch the game, seriously, I mean, like you play a bunch of jump shooters, they all gonna shoot threes, so you're gonna get some rebounds, but that's another case. When I watch JB tell his head coach, hey, look, yeah, I'm guarding their best player. Yeah, he's a top 5 or top 3 player. Yeah, I'm guarding him from inbound to inbound. Yeah. And the only way he'll get this ball back if he bring up himself. Yeah. Sure. What did Luka do? Let me get the ball back.
Yeah.
So when you ask me about who's the not just the best player, but the most impactful player, it has to be him. He did the same thing in the last series. And then another thing is scoring. We watch some games where, okay, who gonna score? We can't. When not this game, the last game.
When it matters.
Right?
Score
when
it matters.
Okay, game three. Right? Where they made that crazy run back, right? It was like 20-2. Okay.
Yep.
Who gonna score? Because Tatum tried to score, it didn't work, right? JB, I got it.
Yep.
So my thing is, when I watch the game and I see that, that's the dog in me, because we're in the huddle as a group with the timeout, and everybody's like not panicking but nervous, because we've been there like, dang, what we gonna do? Who we going to?
Yeah.
Let's go to our main players. Is it Tate? Nah, coach gonna miss for JB. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So when you talking about who the best dude is, and then on defense, we in the huddle. Yo, they gonna run. We can't stop them. What we gonna do? Yo, you got Tatum. You got. Nah, JB gonna get Luka. You get what I'm saying? That's why for me is maybe the talent part Tatum has him, because I think he's more talented overall. But when you talk about the best player and the most impactful player on Boston, it's got to be him.
I got a question that only this show can get answered. Why? Because Slick is sitting next to me, and for those that don't know, Rick Bucher is an MVP and postseason awards voter.
He knows it all.
So only this show can get answered the question that I'm about to ask.
Yeah.
You talk about impact. Once we all realize impact, it changes voting. What I mean by that is Russ Westbrook, he averaged a triple-double for a season. He won MVP. But then the whole world realized, and them triple-doubles he's been averaging don't really equate to no wins. No. So the next year he did it, he didn't win MVP. And then he did it again, family, for those that aren't aware, and he didn't win MVP. He did it the first time because we were like, oh, my God, what's he doing? Embiid finally got his MVP. They were like, you know what, Embiid, I know you be scoring and whatnot, but we going back to Joker. We shouldn't have left Joker in the first place. Tatum's been All-NBA 3 years in a row. Yeah. Jaylen Brown didn't even make an All-NBA team this year. He only made it once before. Now, Rick, as a voter, again, nobody can answer this question but you, literally on television. Now that you've realized that Tatum's impact isn't as substantial as Brown's impact in the most meaningful moments, Eastern Conference MVP was Jaylen Brown, Finals MVP was Jaylen Brown. As you go through your voting process next season of all NBA teams and MVP awards, will you be moved in the same manner that many of the voters were moved, not giving Westbrook another MVP, realizing, okay, the stats are cool, but you're not really doing it when it matters? Does this change Tatum's future accolades now that you've seen what happens when it matters most?
No, because what he did in these playoffs and what he did during the regular season, first of all, there's just a distinction. If you're allowing what you see in a player in the postseason to affect what you're thinking about them in the regular season the following season, then you're
human.
It's understandable.
Because we did that with pause. We did it with Embiid and Joker.
Sure.
Jokic won 2 MVPs in a row, I believe it was. But he didn't win nothing in the finals. We're like, give it to Embiid, give it to Embiid. He led the league in scoring. But then Jokic won the finals and finals MVP. So this season we're like, hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Give it back to Jokic because Embiid's still not doing nothing in the playoffs.
Sure.
So we gave it to Jokic. I do believe that it impacts.
No, it does. And I've actually asked voters this question about how they go